I'm here with Isaac from Bullion Trading LLC.com, and we are going to talk about the top 10 favorite silver bars. We got a lot of different silver bars on the table. We're going to find out why they're most favorite. Before we even get started on that, over the course of your life, how many kilograms of silver have you sold?
Oh, definitely over 1 million.
Million kilograms of silver. So you know the bars, you've seen them come and go in a variety of different ways and styles, right? You have crazy specialty coins, like this is something really, really crazy. A roulette wheel, okay? It's a roulette wheel silver ounce, right?
It's actually 2 ounces or 1.5 ounces of silver.
Yes. Yeah, 1.5 ounces of silver roulette wheel. These are collectible silver pieces that are available from time to time. But if you really want to stack silver, where would you say is the least desirable bar, if you may say so, or for what reason it might be?
I don't think the least desirable would be, for example, when you go smaller because they become the most expensive. So if you take the 1 ounce bars are typically the most expensive in relation. For example, the 100 ounce bars are going to be much more economical to buy.
Okay, so when you're dealing with silver, you want to buy the bigger bars if you want to save the money.
Correct.
Okay, so that would be, you have two different versions right here. You have 100 ounces and then another 100 ounces. Valcambi versus Suisse. Which one are you taking? Is there a price difference between these two?
There is. The Pamp Swiss is a brand name, and it's like you're buying the creme de la creme and it costs more for the name.
Right.
The silver, what I tell all my customers is always, as long as they're stamped 3 9s, they're exactly the same contents.
How much is this guy and how much is this guy? So you know what we're talking about. We got these.
There's usually between a $50 and a $75 difference, which is 50 cents or 75 cents per ounce.
Okay, so this is $50 more, but you know, if you had them for the same, let's say you're only buying 100 ounce bar. If you had them for the same price, you're buying the one that you're getting a better deal on. So you're buying the Suisse. But if you're buying it for $50 more, are you, Isaac, a person who sold 1 million kilos of silver, are you going to sit here and pay the $50 more for this or not?
Personally, I would not.
Personally, you would not. So you heard it. So you want to take your dollars and you want to put them into the metal, not into the name. And that's for anybody who's a stacker, that would really be this. So the number one bar would have to be this Valcambi right here, 100 ounces, right? If you want
it's better than the Pamp, correct. Yeah. Let's say the Johnson Matthey or the Issac is a little bit less expensive than the Valcambi. They're not as nice.
Right. And where's the Johnson? This guy right here. Okay. So then you could also get a silver bar like this, and this is even the bigger saver. Right? But when it comes to a clean bar that you want to keep in your safe, I would personally prefer this Valcambi with the plastic around it. I think that's good enough. It's better for me than paying an extra $50 for the Suisse. But then you have even the bigger saver with something like this, the Johnson
Matthey.
Johnson Matthey. How long have they been in business for?
Well, they've been in business for well over 130 years.
Right.
It's actually a chemical company.
Right.
And they're a publicly traded company in England.
Right.
And part of the products that they sell is silver. So
this is an old school style bar right here.
That's correct.
How much is 100 ounces again right now?
Right now it's about $25.50, $26.
$25.50, $26, $100 on today's market. That's what silver's doing. Then you have one of my favorite bars. So these are a kilo?
Those are kilos.
And how much is this kilo right here?
Kilo right now is a little bit less than $1,000.
These are stackable kilos, so these are really fun. And what's the company on this one?
This is called Scottsdale's Mint.
And Scottsdale's Mint, you got the kilo, and then you've got the 10 ounce.
Correct.
So they're stackable. So I mean, what's the price difference between the Suisse or the Scottsdale right here?
Okay, so that'll be, again, on a 10 ounce bar, it'll be probably a difference of $1 per ounce, $1.50 per ounce.
Okay, so $10 difference or $15 difference, which one's more expensive?
The Pamp, naturally, again, because of the name.
Right, so here, the Pamp is inferior, I would say, to this, because these are cool, stackable. They've got these ridges that you could stack them. You can't stack these this high. Okay, so you're paying $15 more for the name, which I think that this one speaks for itself. It's got this beautiful lion engraved on it with the crown, stackable bars. So if you're doing 10 ounces at a time and you don't want to do 100 ounces or whatever, you're paying more premium, but You know, what would you be doing this for? Let's say, you know, out of every paycheck, you buy yourself a 10-ounce bar. How much is a 10-ounce bar again? 200 bucks, 250 bucks?
250, yeah.
Yeah, $250. So you get a paycheck, and your paycheck is whatever, $1,500, $2,000, $2,500. And, you know, silver price is relatively underpriced right now, we would say. You know?
Compared to where it's historically traded compared to gold, it's undervalued.
Yes. So with all the inflation, all this, these same prices pre-pandemic, silver could really be just as easily $40 an ounce. So, you know, if you're stacking it and you're stacking it at this, and you're watching this in 2024, right? 2024, the year of the dragon, all right? Somewhere is a gold bar, but that's neither here nor there. You're stacking it, you're going every paycheck, and every paycheck you're stacking a 10-ounce bar. You're putting it away and you're safe, and you're just putting it away until the price goes up. Maybe 20 years from now, maybe 10 years from now, maybe 5 years from now, maybe next week, we don't really know. But eventually it might double, triple, who the hell knows. And you're doing it with a Scottsdale, I would prefer, nice and stacked. Okay, and that's what I would say, either that or 100 ounces. What's the story with these Britannias? What is this? It's another way to get 10 ounces. This is a beautiful bar, lots of designs on it.
It's made by the Royal Canadian Mint, and it's one of their products, like a Canadian Maple Leaf or Britannia.
And how does the price compare to this?
They're going to be less expensive than the Scottsdale, and they're more expensive than a no-name brand.
Right. More expensive or less expensive. So this is another great bar to buy. Because if you're stacking, some of your money's getting wasted here, and this is not anything special on this one. And then you have this guy right here. What is this?
This is also a PAM product, or
Liberty, Independence, and Freedom. Correct. So, I mean, is there ever a bar that catches a special price because it's rare?
The collectors, you have some people. We don't make a market in that. Mm-hmm. You have some of the old bars that were casted that have odd weights to them. Some people like them, and they go out of the way to try to find them.
Liberty, Independence, Freedom. So you wouldn't, it's not a rare bar or something like that. It's
just a bar.
It's just a bar, okay? So it's a nice bar. You'd love to imagine it being worth something more than just the silver on it. And here you have the Indian head. Is this from the U.S. Mint?
It's not. No, the U.S. Mint doesn't make bars. This is, I think, from Sunshine Mint.
Sunshine Mint, and this is...
It's a 5-ounce bar.
5-ounce bar. And how are the premiums on this relative? They're on the lower side, I'm assuming.
No, but again, the smaller you go, the more expensive they are per ounce because they have to produce...
Smaller denominations have a higher premium, but between these two, which one have a lower premium? I'm assuming this?
Ital Prezzo.
So this is...
It's an Italian company that makes them.
Yeah, and this one is a little shoddy. It's got the serial number on the front. It's kind of lasered in. I don't know how that's done. So this is a whole different story right here. I would way much prefer this one over this, because this is kind of like a weird little stamp. It's got a stamp. It's got this. It's got that. But again, if you're buying it at spot price, there's nothing wrong with that.
Correct.
Right?
Silver is silver.
Silver is silver. You got to get it at the spot. And then what's inside this case?
That's an Alcambi, and these are minted. They're called minted bars, and again, it's a silver kilo. It's a more expensive product. It comes in a package. It comes, with the bells and whistles, and it definitely looks nicer than the other kilos, and they naturally charge more for it.
All right. So if you're a silver pro, you want to pay the least amount of premium.
That's correct.
In the biggest denominations, and stack them in the back of your safe.
Yes.
And then you didn't spend any extra money on anything. And when it's time to cash them in, what do they do? Because this is a real big question. You took your money, you bought it on Bullion Trading LLC.com, or you came down here and you bought a bunch of silver. The price is up. It's $45 an ounce. You have to move fast. What do you do with it?
Okay, so typically most of our customers come back to us to sell it when they need the money.
Right.
Or when they want to
cash out. But who's buying it? Do you close the doors? Who's buying it when the price is peaked out?
Actually, the last time silver got to $40, $45, we used to have lines. We weren't able to keep enough silver in the house.
Because people were buying at that price, right?
Yes, and we were getting once a week a delivery, and there would be usually a line waiting for the delivery to come in because they wanted to make sure that they were getting it.
Because they were thinking that silver...
It's going to $100.
It goes, yeah. It's because people have that mania and it's going to $100. But the thing about silver is there is a lot of people with silver somewhere, and they're ready to dump it because something made the price go down so rapidly.
Silver had gone up in like 2011. It was at $50 an ounce, and now we're at 22.
Yeah, so it went down and it stayed there for a while. So your 2011 at $50 an ounce, that was a decade and a half ago almost.
And gold at that point, I think, was $1,300.
Yeah.
So now gold is at $2,000 and silver is half the price.
It's a big game. It's a silver game. It's a big game. And the question is, you don't want to buy when everybody wants it. You want to buy when nobody wants it, right? And right now, silver's not a big deal. Why should I buy this? It's a great time. There's nothing wrong with having it a couple of pieces stacked away. And you got to go to a reputable vendor and cash it in at the right time. They're all over the place. You got to look it up if you want to go into the silver trading world, right? And you're not going to regret if you're getting at $20-something an ounce over the course of history of the US dollar and what might be coming along, you know, in 2025, 28, 31, 32, to have a couple of silver bars in your safe. No one's ever gone wrong as long as you don't buy them at the top of the price. And the top of the price was $50 back in 2011. Right now it's 2024, and the price is half of what it was in 2011. What do you know that's out there that's half the price that it was in 2011, right? Not even eggs, milk, nothing like that. It's all double. But this is half. That means it's really a quarter, I would assume, of what it could be in the future, or at least half of what it should be. So that's kind of our take, and these are our top 10 silver bars. You're going to start with the lower premium guys over here in the top 3. Then you're going to go down and really size, and then I really love the stackables right here. They're also a big deal. So if you want to save money, if you want to stack, all right, and then if you're really going for the cheap stuff, that's really back there. And these are our favorite bars here at Bullion Trading LLC. And be careful when you're, you know, these are some TikTok, just as a side note. This is what they sell for $14 an ounce on TikTok. Turns out to be copper. So, you know, we after 1 million kilograms, you know copper when you see it. There you go.
We didn't see too much copper. We see mostly silver.
Yeah.